So the Arsenal Football Club soap opera continues unabated. This time,
Best thing on the telly, Paul.
It's fans
Best thing on the telly.
fighting in the stands because, you know, there's not enough disharmony at that football club as it is. They decide they want to start basically smacking into each other, or rather, generally launching handbags near each other's faces and then being dragged away really disappointingly. I was watching those videos. I wanted to. I'm not being funny. Look, I'm a pacifist at heart. But if you're going to have a fight...
That's a shit fight to say.
Yeah, no, it's true. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not even that much of a lover, if I'm honest. It was... we laughed, Chris, heartily. But it's... Look, it's not great, is it? Let's be honest. And it started inside the ground. It started to spill out onto the surrounding areas of the stadium after the fact. We know Arsenalfantv kind of got caught up in a little bit of it as well. Taking off the fact that I've got no great love for Arsenal Football Club, it's bad times, that.
Oh, it's terrible. Like, I mean, you know, I laughed at the start of the video there. That shouldn't be happening at football matches. It just shouldn't, and it shouldn't be happening at Arsenal. Probably more than any other club. Like they've had it.
Couldn't be less typical of how their team performs than people getting really angry and fighting for the cause.
Like they do realise they drew 2-2 with Manchester City. Yeah, they're a pretty decent club, Manchester City. They're good at the footy. Like, and it was a good result against them as well.
So we beat them 4-0.
But they're higher in the league than you, mate.
Yeah, but
so they're better.
Let's be honest, it's not
like this is how football works. That's why you have league tables.
But it's not. I've got some sympathy with those Arsenal fans, though, not to the point where they're fighting, but it's about the bigger picture, isn't it? Just because you've drew 2-2, it doesn't mean that that club's a mess, an absolute mess from top to bottom. And just because you draw 2-2 with another team, that shouldn't hide, you know, that shouldn't take away from...
But they're doing it, Ped. They're the people who are fighting. That's got nothing to do with Ivan Casillas or whatever his name is. It's got nothing to do with him because he's not doing anything. And maybe that's their problem.
But that is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, but listen, they're the ones doing the fighting. You know what I mean? They're fighting with each other. Yeah. That's ridiculous. That's not the club.
Yeah.
That's not them making them do that. They've taken something and made their own stories around it because he's saying nothing.
Yeah.
So they have built this entire soap opera around their club that they are now having to deal with. They've done it to themselves.
But who started the soap opera?
Arsenalfantv.
I didn't say that.
I disagree with that as well.
Actually, yeah.
But unfortunately, in the eyes of those other fans, they're the ones who've put it. I'm not having a go at Robbie, I'm not having a go at Arsenalfantv. I think they do a great job and they give those people a voice, just like we've got a voice now. But unfortunately to those people, they have put those problems front and centre. To me, those problems should be front and centre. I've done it with Everton myself.
Yeah.
I've marched. I've put those... Some people would rather say, don't tell the world what's going on. Well, what's the point of that? What's the point of doing that? You know what I mean? You did it when you walked out on the... You know, you forgot... You couldn't care less about what that one particular game. You made your point, and you were right to do that. And that's what the people on Arsenalfantv are doing, and I'm not having a go with them. But to those people, they think they're putting the problems front and centre. It happened to West Ham Fan TV as well, when that lad came over to them and said, you're part of the problem, you're exposing our problems. That's not the problem. There's no problem with exposing problems. They should be there.
It's how you expose those problems.
And that's what I'm saying. The Arsenalfantv are doing it right to an extent by getting it out there. The people on the other side who were trying to fight with them, maybe they should find a way of getting their frustrations out, or just having a sensible conversation about it. Or maybe,
this is the thing.
Maybe a rap battle.
This is the thing, right? They want to quieten down Arsenalfantv.
Exactly.
They live in an age where social media exists and they have become the problem that they're actually having a go at. Because they can't tell me that the guy who had a go at Robbie doesn't think there's phones on him that's going to get that out. Yeah.
Well,
so that's stupid. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Like, he's an absolute tit if he thinks that that's not going to go viral.
By all accounts...
Yeah,
by all accounts, I've spoken to Robbie, and that fella in an instant, it was apparently just off his head. Apparently, he's a bad loony. He was like off gone. I can't intimate why he was off his head or whatever. But by all accounts, 4 hours earlier, he's just that guy's just a knobhead. You get knobheads at the footy.
Hi, social club. It's me. I'm all right. I'm healthy. Contrary to what everybody's been saying, it was a bit of handbags yesterday over by Arsenalfantv. a couple of drunk fans that sort of came on the scene, trying to disrupt our filming a bit, but everything's good, it's all calm. The incidents inside the ground that Paul was asking me about, there were a couple of incidents in the ground where fans were arguing and there was a bit of fighting going, and that was a lot to do with the whole Wenger in, Wenger out. I think some people took exception to some of the banners. Some people took exception to some people having banners saying Wenger in. Some people took exception to some people having banners saying Wenger out. And you know, it is. I have to admit, at the moment, it's a very divided fan base. We get a lot of stick sometimes here on Arsenalfantv because you know we're here and we're reporting it. And what can we do? It is what it is at the moment. It is a bit of a divided fan base, but us personally, yesterday, yes, there was a little incident over by us, but as I was explaining to Paul, it had nothing to do with the whole Wenger in, Wenger out thing. It was just had more to do with this. But yeah, listen, it is a divided fan base at the moment, and I don't know when it's all going to end. Maybe at the end of the season, and after that, things will calm down.
I think the issue with it, I disagree to some extent, because I agree in so much as it's when grown fellas tend to punching each other, that's just knobheads, isn't it? That's knobhead behaviour, getting into fights. But the frustrations stem from exactly the same thing we've all said all along, is that that club is frozen, and in the absence of a clear pathway forward for them, they just all they need to know is one way, either way. Don't
You're
they?
right. You are right, but they cannot just. They could have just accepted that they're going to wait in a couple of weeks. They could have, because they've said it's coming soon.
But
the announcement is coming soon.
The problem
Why
is,
didn't they just wait 2 weeks?
But the problem is, though, Chris, is that Arsenalfantv has filled the gap, the vacuum of silence that has been created by the club. It's not just about, from what I can see about the manager, there doesn't seem to be any leadership.
But Arsenalfantv haven't filled that gap.
No.
Those conversations are happening in pubs
I know,
around the club,
what I'm saying
regardless
is,
of whether Arsenalfantv are there.
What I'm saying
so
is, though,
that hatred and stuff's still getting built up.
Oh yeah. But I'm not having a go with them. What I'm saying is they've filled the vacuum that the club have left of silence, and they're having those conversations, and it goes out, and that's the problem. Like, that lad should have really, you're right, if he's just a knobber, he's just a knobber. But if anyone's got a problem, why don't they go and see Robbie and go, I think what you're doing is wrong, and here's why, let's have a chat about it.
It boils down to...
There was a lad there, sorry mate, there was a lad, did you see the lads who were giving the, you're making money off this?
Yeah.
You're making money. So they're the ones I'd worry about, rather than that other lad who just wants to fight. They're the ones I'd want to have a conversation with. Let's have a conversation about why you think I'm making money off it. I mean, I know we joke about it, but Robbie's a proper...
Because you've put it out there in the public. You filled the vacuum.
Maybe I did.
By talking about Robbie's kitchen.
But Robbie's a good lad, and he's an Arsenal fan, and he does it... He's a...
Here's the thing, though. Sorry, just to bring Liam in, because otherwise he's just going to sit here and look flabbergasted. But this is the thing about it, and we talk about the filling the vacuum of it. Chris is dead right. These conversations happen anyway. Yeah. The problem is, and I've been saying this for weeks now, is that it's not... I think when you keep it within the club, it's fine, because people would disagree. There's always disagreements at football clubs. At any week, there's a division over something, whether it's a player or the manager or your style of play, whatever. The problem is that it's fans of other clubs who are getting onto this that are actually making it a bigger deal, I think, than it maybe is.
I think the biggest issue with this entire thing is that a few weeks ago, when the actual Gary Neville got onto Arsenalfantv, saying about they're embarrassing and all that, and like all the work that Robbie tried to defend Arsenal fans for the entire thing. Actually, I've meeting Gary Neville and doing an interview. All the work that he did to try and defend them has all been eradicated in this last weekend. Well, again, I don't know what's worse, the fact this is actually happening, or the fact that more some are like 40, 50-year-old men fighting within the stadium. There was
Go come back 30 years. It was happening everywhere. Yeah. I know. It's good that that's they're the isolated things now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a shocking fight. Like, it was just handbags. The one inside the actual stadium, it was just dragging each other around. It's just people seem to be more upset by the fact they're doing it to expose not the clubs, but the people who are more angry at them for making
Well, it's
money
the embarrassment.
off it.
Well, I think it's the embarrassment
I-
factor, isn't it? You know, people don't like to have other fans of other clubs laughing at you, because it's hard enough supporting your football team when it's not going well, without having to pick your phone up and having every social media account in the world laughing at your football club.
Oh yeah, I'm a Burnley fan. I'm used to people laughing at my club, to be fair. Especially from Arsenal fans. Like, I don't think Arsenal fans like me anyway because, I don't like Koscielny whatsoever. We've been referees.
Chris has felt this
Yeah,
before.
yeah, I've hatred inside. It's like the fact that they're getting so much grief over exposing the problems is just. It's just embarrassing.
I think that's the problem it boils down to, though, is that because of this, saying it's coming, they don't. It's something that just needs sorting, isn't it? You know what I mean? This is the thing. There needs to be that needs to be happen now, because look what's happening. You're right, in the absence of someone going, right, this is definitively a definitive thing that you can actually properly react to. It's just building up. It's a powder keg on both sides, because it's deepening the divisions. It's making people get more entrenched, because these arguments are just going to keep happening, and they're going to keep going and keep going and keep building, because there is no answer. You become more and more indoctrinated into your own way of thinking. You know, you become more prepared to fight your corner, because you've been practicing your argument for another week. You've been sharpening your knives for another 2 weeks. Whereas, it's just weird. It's just,
I just can't get that they are doing that they are sharpening their arguments or whatever you said, because ultimately they should be going and supporting the team. That's what being a football fan is.
But that's what that football has become, Chris. It's become the managerial thing. Because I think the people who want him to stay and want it to not be an issue would like it to not be, but it's being made an issue because the people who are vehemently against it.
They're more vocal outside of the stadium than inside the stadium. They should have a look at themselves and wonder why. But there's no chance going on inside the stadium. There never has in the Emirates.
But isn't that a good thing, though, that they are that for that point, though, that they're not taking those feelings into the... All right, they're not... singing and all that's a general thing in football now. I don't think anyone can say we're amazing at this and we're... All right. I think it's good that they're not taking that... Don't seem to be taking that anger, though, and having Wenger chants out during the game. That's a positive thing.
Yeah, but there's banners coming out inside the stadium.
There's banners coming out everywhere.
But this is the point. But this is the point, isn't it? This apparently what that kickoff, one of the kickoffs at least in the stadium, came from a guy starts to get a banner out and someone else goes. Starts having a go. But that's, I've actually kind of got less problem with that. It's plain banners the thing that do my head in, you know what I mean? At least, because if you don't like something, you should be able to have a go. But the problem is, of course, this is what's happening now, is this is building to the point where it's starting to become a militant thing. And the people who are, these people who are out, let's say you originally go, oh, they're just a bunch of people, but there are real people and there are real movements, and they're getting louder and louder. And if all of a sudden maybe you really want Arsene Wenger to stay, well, hang on a second, those type of the people who are in that camp are not the people who are protesting and doing all that stuff. You must feel a real deep-seated anger, because it looks as though these people are well more motivated, they're loads noisier, they're garnering all the attention, and it's very hard for you to take that back. And when you feel disenfranchised or depowered, that's when you do strike out. That's when when kids take knives to fucking fist fights.
What they don't realise is that it's not doing them any favours whatsoever, because it's now, this won't fix whether Wenger stays or goes. Like, you're not going to fix the division in these.
It just made me laugh what Paul just said, because we could be having this conversation about literally everything in the world at the moment. Yeah. Like, literally everything in the world at the moment feels like there's like one side and then there's the other side and there's no in between. Yeah. Because this is the way everything seems to be now. Everything seems to be like this now, whether it be football, politics or religion or whatever. Everything just seems to be, I'm on this side and fuck you, and I'm on this side and fuck you, and there's nothing in between.
No, that's right.
That just seems to be and you stay in your own camp, and you don't have a go. This is what I'm saying about the lad going over to Robbie and having a chat, and because it's almost like a symptom of Arsenalfantv as well, is that you've got DT and you've got Troops, and they get all the attention now, and they're getting like 600, 500,000 views. But the lads who are not saying that just don't get any views. No one cares about them from the outside. We don't want someone to come on and go and just be dead straight and be dead normal and go, this is my reason why I want Arsene Wenger to stay, and give you like 5 drill bullet points. You want
But
You want fan blood, DT and all
the
this shit.
The problem with this though, Ped, is it boils down to if Arsenal just won some football matches, you'd be able to hold on for 2 more weeks. You know what I mean? Because the people who want him out have wanted him out for 2 years now. That it's a perfect storm though, because they're not winning games. You can go, all right, because at least I'm enjoying the footy. And I saw a tweet from someone saying the atmosphere was apparently really good inside the stadium. By and large, there was a load of real air of positivity. Wenger said, kind of get behind it and all that kind of stuff. But this is the thing: these things don't go away. And when the results aren't going in, look, a 2-2 draw in context of a season with Man City is good. Yeah, but when you've not won for 3 games or whatever prior to it, a point just makes, as we're loving the league table because Arsenal dropped that point. Same reason they're getting really upset about it. The thing what it boils down to is there's so much, like, Gazidis actually has spoken, because he said the recent slump in form will be a catalyst for change. But said nothing else.
That's
talking in riddles.
That's the most ambiguous thing.
What does that mean?
Just say these are football clubs. Don't they all do it? They all.
Oh no,
like
exactly.
This,
but you know what I mean.
But why don't you say? Because even when he said about the couple of weeks, that's quite ambiguous. Because a couple of weeks in football is not the couple of weeks in real life. It's like, we have different scales. Just say we're going to do it at the end of the season. Everyone get behind me, or just say something like that. It's actually, you can hang your hat on.
We're all going into the City game and people thinking they're not going to make the announcement before City, because if they lose to City, then it's going to go off. So wait till after the City game. But it's the thing, they just need definitive. I remember
they'll wait for the Champions League to come back.
Isn't that half the problem with football though? Football clubs, they always make announcements when it suits them. Yeah. They don't treat football fans like grown-ups. They'll wait for, like, I've had this like at Everton where they'll make, our football clubs will make like funny videos now and stuff, and they go, oh, we had this thing, but we couldn't release it because the result on Saturday was shit. And you're like, well, maybe it'll lighten the mood up a little bit or whatever. Treat football fans like adults. Okay, everyone understands the situation. Make an announcement. Don't wait till just because you've won a game, everything's rosy again. I think that's how football clubs think about us as fans, that we need everything to be rosy because we're all just stupid. But
it just boils down to everything now. There's something at every level of that club, it looks wrong. The players on the pitch don't look like they're fighting for the cause. It's not that, and they've got some very, very good players at that team ultimately, and for whatever reason it definitely looks like it needs freshening up. But I get frustration. Like I say, I remember the Brendan Rodgers era, completely different compared to Arsene Wenger. But if Liverpool had just lost 4 games on the bounce, it would have been done. But we kept drawing or just getting a win, and and when we drew with Hughes' last game in charge, I remember me and Tom walked away going, I kind of wanted us to, a defeat would have, I don't want us to lose, but at least you go, well, we've lost the derby, get some righteous fury behind us. And the club, as it turned out, totally shocked me by going, nah, we had enough of you, mate. That's it. They went out and they got the decisive action, and we were better for it. And Arsenal just seem crippled by their inability to just say, look, here's the direction we're facing, here's what's going on, everyone, make your peace with it or whatever. And unfortunately, I can't see a world where, unless Arsenal start winning games and winning them well in the next couple of weeks, that's going to get worse.
Doesn't look like a job any top manager would want to go to right now either. Not to go and take over in front of that fan base the way it is right now. Why would you want to go there? You lose 2 games on the bounce in the first month of the season, and the fan base breaks down again. Absolutely breaks down.
I don't know. I think that's a little bit harsh. I think this Wenger thing's been going on for a long time. I think it has been.
It's a tough job to take over anyway.
Well, it is.
Regardless of the state.
But I think that if someone came in and he's universally liked, they would get behind him. They'd give him time. They'd understand the problems. I think what you've said before is right. For some fans, this is 2 years too late. Never mind, is it going to happen now? It should have happened 2 years ago. So I think that's the real frustration. Just dragging that out and dragging that. If you don't like somebody and you've got to go to the match and he's your manager, I've faced this. We've been there. It does take the fun away from going to match if you fundamentally don't like the manager and the decisions he makes. Because every time you walk into the ground, if he's picking the players and you automatically go, why is he picking him? It takes, and then like you just said there, if you're actually watching the match thinking, part of me hopes we get beat today. And don't say it hasn't crossed people's mind, because it does cross your mind. If you're sitting there going, I don't know, maybe I'd like Mike to get beat today so we get rid of this fella. It happens, and if anyone says it doesn't happen, they're liars.
Yeah, we can't all have a Sean Dyche, can we?
We can't, and that gravelly voice.
Gruff-voiced maestro.
It's the equivalent of Martinez's smell.
What did it smell?
got a nice
I'll
smell.
generally turn gay for Sean Dash. This probably
You turn gay?
I'll turn gay for Sean Dash.
Sorry.
Cheeky bastard. That's probably just explain a lot about me. I just wonder who would even go to Arsenal, like, who would be the best replacement? Because I hear a lot of, like, Simeone, and it's like, why would he leave Atletico Madrid for Arsenal?
Somebody wants a good football team with a massive worldwide fan base, an incredible stadium, and loads of money to spend on players. Take your pick. I don't think it's that hard. But yeah, let us know your thoughts. And
Thomas Tuchel.
What happens? What happens next for Arsenal? Is it possible to end? Is it possible to
Find
end
out next
fighting?
week.
Find out tune in next week. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching.
Can someone please just edit that? Just edit that. Just like make a theme tune out of that. Just by that.
It's been done.
Been done.
The whole,
Has it?
the whole
Oh
thing,
my
the whole
days.
frenzy.
It's on the
been
internet.
done.
Yeah. Amazing. Anyway.
We need a previously on though for them, don't we?
Click the Ball Street emblem on the screen to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to watch more Social Club, you can. Here's a video of us talking about why Man United aren't better than they are despite all the money that they've spent this season.